What is up, guys? Madden Head here. Today in this video we are doing week 14 of the NFL predictions. Playoffs are looming and we are having some crazy game results. Let's get into the week 13 review before we get into the week 14 predictions. Last week I went 11-5 in my predictions. Thursday Night Football, Redskins, Cowboys. Redskins, Cowboys. The Cowboys woke up, but I think it was a little too late because the Cowboys are pretty much out of the playoffs now. I don't see them coming back in this division. And the Redskins, they've disappointed me now. Good job, Redskins. Disappointment. Colts, Jaguars. It's the result everyone expected. The Jaguars came out on top. Chiefs, Jets. Wow. Chiefs, Jets. The Jets won. I'm not picking the Chiefs. I'm not gonna really I don't like the Chiefs, really. I'm not gonna pick them for a while now because they lost the freaking Jets. I've given up all hope on these Chiefs. Texans, Titans. The Texans and the Titans game, I'd say Mariota didn't play too well, but he played well enough to get his team the win. Buccaneers versus Packers in overtime. Very disheartening for Buccaneers fans. They almost had the game won, and then a defensive touchdown kind of brought them back into the Packers' winning ways. And in overtime, I believe it was the 20-yard touchdown from Aaron Jones, a 20-yard run for a touchdown. It was just a great play from Aaron Jones, and they got the Packers the win. Packers are at 500. They could be pushing for the playoffs if if Aaron Rodgers comes back in the next few weeks. Broncos, Dolphins. I expected it, but I didn't expect this bad of a beating by the Dolphins. The Broncos, they're going downhill. They're bad. They are terrible. Terrible team. 49ers, Bears. The 49ers won by 1 point. Jimmy Garoppolo had a pretty good first game. I'm not sure how many touchdowns he had. I know he had one interception, but I mean, he really doesn't have any talent around him, so I don't blame him. But that was a good first win for Jimmy Garoppolo's first career start for the San Francisco 49ers. Lions, Ravens. The Ravens just killed the Lions. If you're a Lions fan, it's basically your season's over. I thought that this is really the game that would determine if the Lions would make it to the playoffs or not. And by this, I have determined the Lions are not getting to the playoffs anymore. They're just too... Matthew Stafford got hurt, but I mean, the Ravens have no offense, and they scored 44 points on y'all. That's a little disheartening. Vikings, Falcons. It was a very good game to watch. Julio Jones was basically shut down until the fourth quarter. That's when he started showing up and getting a few yards. But the Vikings ended up on top. The offense wasn't really that high-powered this week for the Minnesota, but they still got the job done. They still got the win. Their defense really helped them, only holding the Falcons to 9 points. So really good for the Vikings getting the win. I think this was a tough one for them. Patriots, Bills, I didn't expect nothing more. 23-3. That's an ideal Patriots game going against a divisional rival. Browns, Chargers. The Chargers won. I thought they'd win by a lot more, but hey, they still got the win, which is all that matters. Josh Gordon for the Browns looked very impressive for his first game back in about 3 years. I'm becoming a Josh Gordon fan, I think. I think he's going to do big things next year for the Browns. I don't know what his free agent status is. I don't know if he's a free agent this season, next season. I don't know. Just the suspension has screwed everything up. Giants, Raiders. The Giants lost as they should have, and Ben McAdoo has been fired. Thank you. Good. Raiders won. I expected that. And it looks like Eli is going to be starting this week. That's a really good thing. Rams, Cardinals. Rams took care of the Cardinals like I thought they would, and that's really that. Panthers, Saints. Saints won by 10. The officiating of the game was just terrible. Terrible, terrible. There was some pretty bad calls on both sides, on both teams, not just biasing the Saints. There were some bad calls that we should have really gotten penalties for, but I don't know. These refs, man, in the NFL, crazy. Eagles, Seahawks. Speaking of craziness, the Eagles got pounded by the Seahawks at home. I honestly should have seen this coming, but I didn't. Eagles, I think they can bounce back from this. I think the Seahawks are just a really tough team at home, and in the second half of the season, that's where Russell Wilson just shows up for his MVP-like form and just burns it down. Burns the house down, burns the arena down with his fiery play. And I mean, Wilson, I think he had maybe 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Great game for Russell Wilson. And Steelers, the Bengals. The Bengals were up 17-0 at halftime, and then they choked it. 23-20 was the final score. Bengals, your season's over. That's just embarrassing. I thought you were definitely going to win. You were almost guaranteed to win. All you had to do was play some defense and actually score some points, which you did not do. So that's on you. And now for the Week 14 predictions. We're here for the Week 14 predictions. Thursday Night Football, New Orleans Saints going against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm obviously pulling for the Saints. That's not even a question. Saints are going to win. I feel like if we can win this game, then we can win the rest of the games for the season. So I think it's a big test. Falcons are a very good team. They beat the Seahawks a few weeks ago. I know they lost to the Vikings, but it wasn't by that large of a margin. Credit to their defense for stopping Case Keenum and an explosive Minnesota offense. However, Saints offense is hot as fire. Ingram and Kamara are maybe one of the best duos this year of running backs in the NFL. I don't think that's actually arguable at all. I think Kamara and Ingram have been better than Freeman and Coleman this year, meaning Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, both running backs for the Falcons. And I think the Saints defense, with or without I think we need Marshawn Lattimore, but if he doesn't play, I still think we can pull out the win. I know they have Julio and they have Matt Ryan, but I just think I'm just pulling for my team. I have confidence in the Saints that they can beat the Falcons. In a surprising one, Sunday we got the Lions and the Bucks. That's an interesting one. Lions, I don't know if Matthew Stafford's playing. I think he has injured his arm, his throwing arm. I think that could dictate the flow of this game, but I have faith in the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are going to win in my mind. I think with Jameis Winston fully healthy now, I think they can make a comeback on their season, even though it's already over, and they're almost guaranteed elimination from the playoffs. I feel like they can get the win over the Lions. Lions have just fallen off. Next, we have the Cowboys and the Giants. Cowboys are a much better team than the Giants, so the Cowboys win. 49ers, Texans. Texans are a better team overall. No offense to Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he's been playing very well for his first debut week. This week, I think he'll be continuing to impress, but the Texans take the win here. Raiders, Chiefs. I have no confidence in the Chiefs. I know it's a questionable decision to make this call, but I say Oakland wins the game. Vikings and the Panthers. This game could really shift the momentum of the NFC. If the Vikings win and the Saints win, if the Vikings beat the Panthers and the Saints win against the Falcons, some circumstances could result in the Saints clinching a playoff berth. But there's no bias here. The Vikings are a better team than the Panthers. Therefore, the Vikings, I believe, are going to defeat the Panthers this game on Sunday. I think it's going to be a very exciting game between two pretty good teams. Vikings are just amazing. Panthers, I'd say they could make the playoffs. But the Panthers are going to have to take another loss here. Packers Browns. If the Browns win here, Packers, you're done for. You're done for. Like you will be a laughing stock if you lose to the Browns. Fortunately, I don't have you losing because Packers, you have some talent. Brett Hundley, I know he had a terrible game last week. It was pretty bad, but he's shown some flashes of greatness. This week, I think he can pull out anything he wants against this Browns team. They're the freaking Browns. Bears, Bengals. Bengals win. I mean, the Bengals are the better team at this point. Bills, Colts. Tyrod Taylor might not be playing, so Colts might get a upset victory? No, they're not. The Bills are still going to win. They're at home. They're good at home. Redskins, Chargers. Chargers are a better team. They've looked impressive over the past few weeks, and I think they're going to keep it going. Jets, Broncos. Broncos are a disaster. Jets, they're going to get another win. Titans, Cardinals. Titans are a way better team. Titans are going to win. Seahawks, Jaguars. This is going to be a fun game to watch. Definitely considering watching this game along with the next game. I think it's very close, but I'm going to have to give it to the home team. Jaguars are going to get the win. This is a very important game for me. This is really a test to see if the Jaguars can be a very good playoff team. I know they've already beaten the Steelers, but this team is red hot. The Seahawks, they are red hot. And let's see if the Seahawks can beat the Jaguars. Rams, Eagles. This game, I think it's going to be an upset. The Rams are going to win. Sean McVay is going to play in this game very well. And I think the Eagles, for the second week in a row, they're going to be shocked in defeat. Steelers, Ravens. Steelers are better than the Ravens. And they're at home. And Monday night, we got Patriots, Dolphins, Patriots. Please do not ask questions about that. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.